We see no end to the political slugfest over Parliament security breach. Both houses of the Parliament today witnessed this uproar over the December 13th incident, demanding Home Minister Amit Shah himself to address the House on the security breach in the Parliament. In fact, all the opposition MPs, most of them, stormed the well of the House in both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, and the ruckus was such that the Lok Sabha Speaker is suspended in both Rajya Sabha and the Lok Sabha. At least close to 100 MPs have been suspended, an unprecedented move in nearly a decade. With just barely 5 days left for the Parliament now to function, we're seeing 46 MPs from the Lok Sabha, 46 MPs from the Rajya Sabha have now been suspended for the remainder of the winter session. Let me quickly cut across to Saket Gokhale, who's an MP with the Rajya Sabha of the TMC, joining us. Mr. Saket, thanks for speaking to India today. You're one of those who've been suspended, nearly 100 MPs suspended in an unprecedented move. While I did speak with a BJP MP himself, he says that they called for it. The opposition has asked for it. They do not believe in civilized conversation, a discussion rather. Heckling is the norm that you have displayed all through.
Thanks, Mr. Jamal. First of all, a clarification. I have not been suspended. I am among the only three in my party in the Rajya Sabha that have not been suspended. So, no, I wasn't being obscene. I wasn't heckling. I wasn't doing any of that. All that we were demanding for the last several days is that Home Minister Amit Shah come and address the Parliament. He's in fact made a statement on your channel first about the Parliament attack, the security breach. And all we've been asking, we followed the procedure first. We submitted Rule 2667 notices every day since the 13th of December. None of these notices were entertained by the government. Today morning, the list of business for the day said that Mr. Amit Shah is going to come and table 2 bills in Parliament. Mr. Amit Shah was so scared of addressing the Parliament that he did not show up in the Rajya Sabha and he sent the MOS home. Now, the simple question is this. If we are apparently creating a ruckus and, if the government wants to have a civilized discussion, the chairperson of the Rajya Sabha today said that no legislative business is possible when the House is not in order. Fine. When the House is not in order, no legislative business is possible. But today, without any debate, the government managed to pass 2 very important bills in the Rajya Sabha. So how was that parliamentary business carried out if the House was not in order? They had enough order to pass 2 bills today, but Home Minister Amit Shah, just asking him to come, gets not 1, not 2, not 10, not 20, 92 MPs suspended. 92. I mean, this is unprecedented in the history of independent India.
The BJP more often than not says that this has happened during the Congress regime as well. We've seen this. This may be unprecedented in a decade, but similar scenes were witnessed in '89. The blame game there continues, not justifying the move, but this is the response.
I mean, then we can also say that, we were under a colonial power like the British and the BJP is behaving. I mean, how far back in history should we go? Should we talk about the Rowlatt Act? Should we talk about how dissent was cracked down upon the British and the BJP is doing the same? This whole rubbish of going into history and Congress did this and the British did this and Akbar did this and Tipu Sultan did this and Mughal did this. How far back do we have to go? We're talking today, 2023. On the anniversary, not just on an ordinary day, on the anniversary of the Parliament attack, Parliament was breached. Not just the compound of the Parliament, but the House where MPs sit was breached.
Yet you do have SIT teams that have been formed. You have probe that's happening in 6 states. The accused have been arrested. Now, what beyond? You want the Prime Minister and the Home Minister to address, yes, but does that mean it derails all conversation for a fruitful discussion in the rest of the winter session?
I'll tell you what is the most interesting thing. SIT has been formed, all of these things. I'm learning from you. I'm a member of Parliament. Is it too much for me when my Parliament, where I sit, has been attacked, to have the Home Minister come and address the Parliament? I'm learning all these facts from you. Why should I have to learn the facts of what is happening and what happened and what is being done on television? Is the Home Minister not a member of Parliament? Is it not his duty to come and address parliamentarians and tell them all these things? I mean, are we going to run the Parliament from India today now, or are we going to run it in the actual new Parliament building that is supposed to be so glorious?
So it appears to me, and this is in conversation with some of the BJP netas, they say Parliament, the new Parliament at least, will not tolerate heckling. If the opposition members think that they can create ruckus at every given situation, not wanting to discuss issues in an orderly manner, then this is how they're going to be dealt with. This is a message being sent out.
I don't know what message they're sending, what new parliament. I mean, basically opposition is not going to be tolerated in the new parliament. Civilized discussion, very simple. We submitted a notice. Why is it so difficult for Mr. Amit Shah to come and have a 1 hour discussion? What is stopping him? We're very happy to sit down, listen to him. What is stopping him? Again, we're asking, we've submitted 267 notices. He's refusing to come to Rajya Sabha. My question is, we'll have a wonderful civilized discussion. We'll give him roses and, we'll say Modi, Modi and all of that. But Parliament to आइए. Parliament आने से क्यों डर रहे हो आप? You're suspending 92 MPs. But funny part is, the Lok Sabha MP Pratap Simha, who issued the passes for people who disrupted and attacked the Parliament, he has not been suspended as of today. 92 India MPs have been suspended, but no action has been taken against the MP who jeopardized national security by signing visitor passes for those who disrupted the Parliament. So this will not be tolerated, that will not be tolerated. Let me put this very simply. We saw what the BJP did in 2013-14. We all know what Mr. Arun Jaitley, Sushma Swaraj said. What the BJP tolerates, doesn't tolerate, they're running a dictatorship. When they say that we will not tolerate this, tolerate that, as if the parliament belongs to their uncle. But that's fine. Let them say whatever they want to tolerate, not tolerate in the parliament building. The BJP should not forget that they will very soon, in fact, be sitting in the opposition. And we will remember everything about how the parliament was run under the BJP. And we will give the same gyan to them the moment they're sitting in the opposition.
All right. Saket, thank you very much. Appreciate your time. You're one of those opposition MPs who hasn't been suspended. Maybe we'll hear from you on
what happens tomorrow. Who knows what happens tomorrow? I mean, this is a modified democracy, so maybe...
we suggest you stay back to communicate. At least you could be the mediator to all the other suspended MPs of the opposition. You have the big India bloc meeting tomorrow as well. You could be one of those mediators for them. Thank you very much.
I just want the Home Minister to come. Thank you. I just want the Home Minister to address us. That's what I'm going to ask for tomorrow as well, and my party too.
Thank you, Saket. Well, we have J.B. Madhav, MP of the Rajya Sabha Congress. We also have Tom Vadakan of the BJP joining us. Thank you, both of you, for speaking to India today. And of course, Dr. Sudhanshu Trivedi, MP, Rajya Sabha of the BJP. Mr. Sudhanshu, I'm going to cut straight to you first. If you could give me a perspective on what's happened in the parliament today, you were witness to that in the Rajya Sabha. Would you agree with this kind of suspension, a move that one could call unprecedented? In over a decade, we haven't seen something like this. 100 MPs in both Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha suspended. You have bills coming up. It's almost a quarter of the House gone. Several questions being raised of the arrogance of the government and, of course, the Speaker. Your take on that?
Today, what happened in the House, in Rajya Sabha, because I was there, it is unprecedented in the parliamentary history. Chairman has adjourned the House and said that leader of the House and leader of the opposition should meet me in my chamber to find out a solution. There was not going to be any shouting, other just 3 members are sitting. Chairman, means Vice President, Shri Jagdeep Dhankar ji, leader of the House, Piyush Goyal ji, and leader of the opposition, Khadge ji. And leader of the opposition denied that I will not come. I will not come in the chamber of chairman. Can they quote a single instance in the entire history of the country? This is utter disrespect to the chair. And if they are trying to quote, कि भाई सुषमा स्वराज जी ने तब ये किया था, अरुण जेटली जी ने, I say with a humble petition, quote, show a single photo, a single video in which Sushma Swaraj ji or Arun Jaitley ji was in the well, shouting, having these placards in their hand, and the floor leaders like Sanjay Singh and Derek O'Brien has jumped to the table, has thrown the book, uprooted the mic. हमारे किसी नेता ने किया हो तो बताइए ना. If you are consistently creating these type of scenes over the last several sessions of parliament, you remember last year, chairman of Rajya Sabha, vice chair, deputy chairman of Rajya Sabha has said कि मेरे ऊपर हिंसक हमला हुआ, a violent attack. So I just want to say that whatever the opposition is showing is sheer arrogance when you are not even ready to meet the chairman on his formal request on the floor of the House. Forget about that you denied the order of going outside the House. So I think this is compelled with pain and anguish to the chairman to take this decision.
Right. Mr. Trivedi, Sudhanshu Trivedi, please do stay with us. I have with me JB Madha, MP of the Rajya Sabha Congress, who is a witness to all of this. JB, this is clear. The Speaker wanted to send a message out that this kind of behavior is not tolerated, at least in the Naya Sansad, the new parliament, orders and mandates for discipline. And this has been the norm and behavior of the opposition through many sessions of the parliament in the recent past. So there you have it, 100 MPs suspended. It's shocking.
Well, see, what's happening these days in Parliament and in our country is unprecedented in history, because one thing that's unprecedented is some two infiltrators jumping from the gallery to the house, which has never happened before. And now, secondly, when we put forth a demand for the Home Minister or the Prime Minister to come and answer, make a statement in the Parliament, when we make that request, it is very unfortunate that first 14 MPs were suspended, and by today we have over 90 MPs, Member of Parliament, suspended for asking a demand for the Prime Minister and Home Minister to come and make a statement. And where is the sense of accountability in our country now? Those who seek answers, those who ask questions inside the House, about what has happened inside the Parliament, inside the Lok Sabha, they are being suspended. I mean, it is very clear the ruling dispensation wants the opposition wiped out. They have reached a sense of intolerance level where they cannot take any question, any demand, any answers which are sought by the opposition. It is very clear. See, it is quite natural in a democracy.
We heard you. Do you believe this is suiting the India bloc agenda? You have a big meeting tomorrow, a suspension of this nature. Do you believe it's going to invite sympathy? You may say no, but at the end of it, this has also managed to bring, or rather unite, the opposition together. And why I ask this specific question is because the BJP claims that this is an attempt to try and come together and show unity, boycott the parliament deliberately so that you drum up noise for your upcoming India bloc meeting.
Asking the Prime Minister or the Home Minister to make a statement on a grave security breach is not making noise. It is not destruction. It's not disruption of Parliament. We are raising the voice of the people of India, where everybody is concerned. If this has happened inside the Parliament, which is the most secure place, it can happen anywhere. I mean, this cannot be, taken it as a very normal thing to happen.
Okay.
Definitely, it's not a normal thing.
We heard you. This is not normal. It's not happened in a decade. We agree with you. Absolutely agree with you. But do stay with us. Let me cut across to Tom Vadakan of the BJP. Mr. Tom, here's what we saw in the parliament, which doesn't show a lot of them in good light. Neither does it show the opposition in good light, nor the ruling. If this happened to the BJP in an opposition-ruled state where the BJP is in a minority and you have quarter of your assembly members suspended, would you tolerate it? And it's not as if the BJP in opposition states haven't stormed into the well of the house with banners and slogans and tried to disrupt proceedings.
Well, to begin with, this whole narrative that is being built has a background. The background is the investigation that is on and the heat that has come on to some of the opposition parties. It's like, setting fire and then calling the fire brigade and joining them to, create a situation that you are not a participant. So what has happened today is the investigating agency is busy, and there is going to be major exposures coming. And that exposure will expose many in the opposition team. If that happens, that is the time when when the Home Minister will respond and they will all walk out of the house, as it happened on Manipur issue. When they complete the Prime Minister
But Mr. Vadakan, these are really crucial issues which the opposition and the people of the country have the right to demand. They want to hear the Prime Minister or the Home Minister speak, addressing a situation as complex and serious of that nature, be it Manipur or the parliament security breach.
Has there been a refusal? No. The timing of the Prime Minister's address or the Home Minister's address it will be also connected with the report that they have. This is, when you speak in parliament, you're not there to tell lies. You are there to speak the truth, and the truth will come out only in an investigation. If they want to speak about it, they'll create this fury and create a situation where there's anarchy in this country. That is the objective of these so-called terrorists who have entered the premises. And who are the people who are supporting them? They say they are unemployed. They're not unemployed. 6, telephones were burnt, and they were traveling all over the country, locating people. Who's financing all this? This has to come out. And when this comes out, you won't find, Nabila, watch out. They will walk out of parliament when the reports are laid in the house. And when the Home Minister or Prime Minister decides to speak. This is the situation that's going to emerge. And they are creating this drama to just grab headlines and say, well, there's an anarchy happening. Now, tell me something. They are defending those people who entered the house. They're saying they're unemployed. On what basis are they saying they're unemployed?
That's shameful. There is no justification for that crime, and it's rightfully so that UAPA has been slapped. A terror act has been...
And they come and defend.
It has to be considered a terror threat and nothing less. It's a parliament house. It could have been anything else, a poisonous gas for all you know. But they came in with such, with ease that they walked into the parliament. That's also really shocking, which, yes, there should be a justification, and an investigation will bring out that. But is it fair to jump the gun to claim that these intruders were innocent? Well, surely not. But at this point, when a fruitful discussion is expected, we have 5 more days of the parliament to end the winter session. You have 100 MPs who are suspended. I'd cut across straight to Dr. Sudhanshu Trivedi there. Mr. Trivedi, here you have 3 bills that you have to table. You want to ideally get the vote either for or against, but you should be ideally involving the opposition in the bills that you've placed. A discussion should happen, but now you have 100 of your MPs missing collectively in the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. This raises a lot of questions on the sanctity of the bill or the intentions with which you want to pass these bills without a proper discussion with the opposition involved.
It's very easy. If they shed their arrogance and they tender an apology, then it can be considered. I just want to ask you one question, that if any of the student denies the teacher's order of, teacher says you go out of the class, he said no, I will not go, then what should be the action? Even in your channel, if there is a meeting and your chairman says that meet me in my chamber for officially discuss this, and you say I will not come, and what I got the information that might be he has given in writing that I will not come, then you tell me, and the millions of viewers which are watching, they just tell what should be the action. So it was compelled by the act of opposition, not by the desire of the chairman.
All right, but what if, Mr. Sudhanshu, if the same thing happened to you in an opposition ruled state? In Karnataka, you have the opposition in a brute majority. The Congress is nearly 135. The BJP is about 64, 65 odd. There have been many times that the BJP leaders have also stormed the well of the assembly, raising slogans. So this is not as if this has not happened in opposition ruled states, be it even West Bengal, where the BJP has created quite some ruckus in the assembly house. What if there was a suspension? Would you accept it the same way, where your MLAs were suspended en masse?
When you reminded of the assembly, so I would like to remind that in assemblies, you know what happened? BJP leaders were beaten. They were in blood. December 1993, UP State Assembly, in which SP, BSP and Congress I were running the government. Even then, the previous speaker, Kesrinath Tripathi ji, who has to be taken on stature. In 22nd October 1997, UP State Assembly, again the similar scene was created and they were beaten, the mics were thrown and many of the persons were wounded. So they have already created this type of scene, and whatever the decision was taken, it was turned down by the court. Even Sri R.K. Narayan who was, K.R. Narayanan, who was the president at the time, he has rejected the recommendation of the government and given them for reconsideration during Gujarat government. I'm talking about 1997. So they themselves have created, they are in the habit of creating these type of scenes since ages when the BJP was not at all in power in the central government. Forget about Modi ji and Amit Shah ji.
All right, Mr. Sudhanshu, thank you very much. I really appreciate your time for joining us. But a quick word from JV, the Congress MP. Ma'am, you have barely 5 days that remain. What is the Congress and the opposition that we intend to do? Have you all strategized a way forward? Do you want to go back to respond on the suspension for the Speaker to revoke it? Is there a plan that you have in mind in place? Do share with us.
Nabila, see, one thing we are very clear. The aim of the ruling dispensation is to silence the opposition on whatever issues we try to take it up, whether it was Manipur, whether it is price rise, whether it is unemployment, and now whether it is the grave security breach that happened in the parliament. But let me make it very clear that we are not the ones who would back out from what we have intended. Our intention is very clear. We are the voice of the people, and we will continue to demand answers. We will continue to register our protest. We will continue to be the voice of the people. And as far as we are concerned, that in a parliament, the voice of opposition needs to be heard. But if you look at the attitude of the present government, they have zero intolerance. They do not have, they cannot be, they do not understand the meaning of respecting others' views. They do not take,
but Ms. JB, if you're going to be shouting and screaming in the Parliament House, where is the opportunity for any civilized discussion? There's no room and space for anyone to speak or say anything. If you're hard-pressed on just having the Prime Minister or the Home Minister to be speaking without investigations actually have been completed, the investigation is still ongoing. Without completing investigation to make a premature statement, are you inviting that?
They can come and say that in the parliament. The Home Minister goes to channel and says that he can very well come and say it where we have reached. It's not the case that after everything only they will respond. They can always say the investigation is going on. It has reached this far. This is the thing. This is the thing. At least take the House into confidence.
Yeah.
That is the basic thing we are demanding. We'll definitely continue to make our demands, and on larger issue of derailment of democracy also we want to do it, because this is not a small issue that 92 MPs being suspended for seeking the answer from the Home Minister is unheard of in the country.
We heard you, Tom Vadakan. I'm going to close with you on that. A punishment should really fit the crime. Do you think that this is really the most stringent punishment to be given to MPs at a time when you're ideally supposed to be taking them into confidence and maybe discussing more productive issues, including security breach?
Security breach is a matter to be investigated by the security agencies. And this is not a running commentary to be given. Yes, investigation is going on and it is at this stage. I think that's not the role of the Home Minister. The Home Minister speaks in confidence on exactly what has happened. Who are the people behind it? Why are they shying away from the fact that so many bills are to be passed, and that's in the interest of the people? This is not a private limited company which is passing a bill. This is something to do with the people of India. You are not permitting bills to be passed, and you say you're connected with the people of India. I'm shocked.
All right. Well, the Congress has their opinion. The opposition collectively say that the people's voice is being muzzled post the suspension. But we'll see what happens. The Parliament winter session goes on until the whole of next week. We're seeing now 100, at least we'll see 100 MPs missing in action there. Thanks very much for watching. Stay with us.